Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Latte Lover Lena. Lately, I've been super inspired by Korean-style lunchbox cakes. These are super cute and very trendy because they're meant for 1 or 2 people, but are designed like a full-size cake. I'll be making 3 different cakes using 2 recipes from Korean baking YouTube channels, which are linked below. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and if you do, please hit the like and subscribe. For the first 2 cakes, I'll be using the same vanilla sponge cake recipe from Cooking C with 2 different fillings. First, add 1 gram or half a teaspoon of salt to your egg yolks and mix. Then using a hand mixer, whip your egg whites till they are white and foamy. Then you will add your sugar in 3 parts. Whip this mixture until it forms stiff peaks. You will then add your egg yolk mixture to this meringue and carefully mix it thoroughly on a low speed. Next, add your sifted cake flour in 3 parts and fold the batter in scooping motions. You don't want to mix this batter roughly or it'll make the cake lose its sponginess. Add your vanilla extract and vegetable oil to the milk, then add some of your batter to the milk oil mixture to prevent your batter from breaking. Now carefully fold the milk mixture into your batter. To create the lunchbox size cakes, I evenly split up the batter into 2 6-inch round cake molds. Hit the cakes on a flat surface to remove air bubbles before baking them in a preheated oven at 170 degrees Celsius for 25 to 30 minutes. The next recipe is a chocolate cake from the channel Sunday Baking, and instead of using honey from the recipe, I simply added more sugar and instant coffee for a chocolate coffee flavor. You'll add your sugar to 3 egg whites and 4 yolks. Then over a pot of hot water, mix the egg mixture until it is foamy and warm to the touch. Using the same hot water, melt your butter and milk until it is completely melted. Use a hand mixer to whip the warmed egg mixture until it is ivory color that can create ribbons that stay for at least 5 seconds. To this, add the sifted cake flour and cocoa powder by 1/3 and carefully fold the batter till the flour is well incorporated. Mix a small amount of batter with the butter and milk mixture and then add your instant coffee mixture. Once this is thoroughly mixed, fold this carefully back into the batter to prevent losing any volume. Then to a large baking pan with parchment paper, evenly fill the pan with your batter and then bake in a preheated oven for 180 degrees Celsius for 12 to 15 minutes. You also want to tap this pan to the surface to prevent any air bubbles. Now it's time to cut out your cake shapes. First, remove all the parchment paper, and then you can use a cup or a bowl to cut out your cake layers. Don't throw away the other parts of the cake because you can also cut out half circles to use for your other cake layers. To prevent your cakes from drying, you can create a simple syrup with a 1:1 ratio of water and sugar. Boil the sugar until it's completely dissolved and cool this before using. Sprinkle the syrup onto all your cake pieces before frosting them. Now onto making the frosting. Whip room temperature cream cheese with sugar until it is smooth and has no bumps. Then over a bowl of ice water, you will whip the heavy cream until it is stiff and holds its shape. Add your whipped cream in 3 parts to the cream cheese, and then carefully mix with your hand mixer. The frosting is now complete, and you can add some of this frosting to small bowls to create different colors for decorating. For decorating, I made 3 different colors of frosting: pink, green, and blue. Before frosting the cakes, I cut the 6-inch vanilla sponge cakes in half to create 2 cakes. Now it's time to fill and crumb coat the cakes. A crumb coat is the first layer of frosting that traps crumbs so they won't show on the cake. For each layer of cake, you want to put frosting on the center of the cake and then spread it evenly. For this cake, I filled the center with Oreo pieces. The easiest way to do a crumb coat is to place a good amount of frosting on the top and pull the frosting towards your body while moving the cake spinning stand. You can also try using a flat plate, but it may not move as smoothly. Then you'll try to pull some of the frosting from the top and cover the sides of the cake and spin the cake to create an even outer layer. For the second cake, I filled the center with frosting and then store-bought caramel syrup that's usually used for ice cream. I covered this with more frosting and then put on the final layer of cake. For the coffee cake, I decided to keep it more simple and just fill the center with regular frosting. Once you are finished crumb coating the cakes, place the cakes in the refrigerator for 5 to 10 minutes before doing the final frosting layer. The caramel cake is the easiest to decorate. I have poured caramel over the edges of the cake and then created a drizzle pattern over the top. You can create a more put together look with dripping caramel patterns, but I like a more rustic appearance. I spread the caramel on the sides of the cake and added stroopwafel pieces to decorate. You can add any choice of biscuit, cookies, or chocolate to decorate. Then I added pearl-like gold and white sprinkles for a nice finishing touch. I moved the cake onto a cleaner parchment paper before placing it into a gift box. Usually for lunchbox cakes, you would just use a styrofoam small lunchbox, but I couldn't find any, so I just bought some gift boxes from the Dollar Tree. For the coffee cake, I went with a more Christmas-based theme, and I created a ruffle-like design on the edges of the cake. Then I made small Christmas trees with my green frosting and decorated the edges of the cake with the frosting. You can make this cake more minimal or more decorated depending on your preference. Personally, I always like to add sprinkles to my cakes because they can help cover any mistakes I make when decorating. Now I'm covering the sides of the cake with green frosting to give it a more polished look. For the Oreo-filled cake, I tried to recreate the mermaid or wave toast design, and I first covered the cake with pink and blue frosting. Then I put dots of different colors of frosting on the top. What you want to do next is spread the dots at different angles across the cake top. Then add another layer of dots at the base of the fish scales or waves and spread the frosting again to create an ombre-like design. You can keep the design as it is for a minimal look, but once again, I'm using gold and white sprinkles for a more magical touch. Now we're done with the final cake.